A hot and humid week ahead. Summer is back. Dew points are already starting to creep upwards into that uncomfortable level toward the 70-degree mark, maybe even low 70s in the middle part of this week as rain and shower storm chances slightly increase, though generally remaining low. Cooling rain could be fairly hard to come by this week, kind of south of the Mason-Dixon line, south of DC, especially into Virginia. But worth mentioning that as the temperatures creep upward, rain chances kind of help tamp down the temperatures just a little bit to the middle and the end of the week mainly. But look at that, only 30-40% chance of rain. For the latest forecast, go to CWG.news/latest, and we've got plenty to talk about. I'm Camden Walker. Thanks for joining me on these weekly Sunday sunset chats. In the case of last week, Holiday Monday sunset chat. Above normal is above average for the entire week. You can see 10 to 15 degrees here floating depending on what time of day, but it is going to be warm. It is going to be warmer than average here at the surface, so just keep that in mind. And I wanted to flag, when combining heat and humidity, Tuesday could be the ultimate heat index day. The apparent temperature, what it feels like, it could be mid-upper 90s in some parts of the area. Hello, Noryanje, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Genevieve, hello from Front Royal. Not excited about more heat and humidity. Even in Front Royal and Woodstock, still going to be hot and humid, but look at that, at least maybe keeping the heat index below 90 degrees along the I-81 corridor. Beautiful day in my neighborhood, says Annette. And Thomas, any temp over 80 with humidity, I guess you're saying is too warm for you. Let me know. I would love to see some temperatures 80 or lower without this humidity, without these dew points that are creeping upward this week toward the 70-degree mark, perhaps as early as tomorrow. I don't think we'll get above 75 this week, but it is going to be muggy and gross feeling. And yes, smoky orange sunset. Michael, be sure to check it out. We have plenty of that smoke streaming in here for the coming days. I guess the only good news is it does give us some beautiful sunrises and sunsets at times, but otherwise it can sometimes impact our air quality at times. Let's see. Hello, Silver Spring. David, thanks for tuning in. And Deborah, perfect weather this weekend for a family reunion. I'm so glad you appreciated the good weather. Nice evening in Mountain Falls. Mike, really good seeing you. And John, hello from Twitter. Maybe in October we'll see cooler temperatures. Yes, indeed. And Scott, it's cool at the airport. River breeze on the Potomac there at DCA. Excellent. And Thomas, ready for fall for sure. Yes, I can't promise though any fall temperatures anytime soon, but we'll get into that in a moment. Sunrise, sunset times, we're getting shorter and shorter day lengths. And again, thank you for tuning in for these weekly Sunday sunset chats on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. We appreciate you following us at capitalweathergang.com. And look at that sunset now down to 7:20 p.m. About 12 and a half hours of daylight. It's going to be below that when you talk to me next Sunday. We are losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight every day. It is shrinking rapidly this time of year. And then looking more to the past 7 days, we had some rain in the region, especially northwest of DC. But yes, you can see some dry spots there around Charlottesville. But the good news is the drought situation under control for much of the East Coast, much of the eastern portion of the United States. So we're in pretty good shape, except for northern Maine right there, as you can see. But even places in Virginia, around Bath County in particular, was seeing some rough times, and Rockingham County had some moderate drought at times, but even that has gotten chiseled away with some of these rains recently. And we have some outside chances middle of the week and more a little bit toward the end of the week of seeing some rain chances. Here's some simulated radar showing you the patchy nature, not to be like directly a forecast here, but a patchy nature to the rain this week, and it kind of prefers to stay north of the Mason-Dixon line and riding the Appalachian chain. So that's where, and maybe even the Bay Breeze, maybe slightly near the Bay Breeze, we could see some lift mechanism there, some instability near the bay, kicking off some showers and storms in the middle and later part of this week. Paul wants autumn weather now. Rick, is this the last heat wave? Let's look ahead. I cannot make good promises along those lines. Here is this mid to upper level high pressure system, kind of weakens for a moment. You think, oh, maybe summer is going to dwindle a little bit. And look at that. It just re-strengthens by the end of this week and into the weekend. So here's what it looks like at the surface for next work week. High probability of being above average. But I do have good news, fall weather lovers. The average temperature is going to dip down. We're losing a few degrees every week now in our average highs and average low temperatures. 79 degrees is the average. So even if we are above average and high probability at that next week, could we see 88, 89 degrees, maybe even an outside chance of 90, sure. But at least this hot, high pressure system is coming in at a time of year, while yes, but compared to average, this is a very strong mid to upper level high pressure system. But luckily, it's not coming in at the peak of summer when we would be kind of broiling more at the surface. And luckily, our averages, the atmosphere, is happy to oblige us that above average is now a cooler average at 79 degrees for an average high temperature. So keep that in mind. For context, we have a little bit of a break this time of year, luckily. Small breaks, we'll take them where we can get them. Precipitation next work week while I'm looking ahead. Slight chance of above average, maybe near normal precipitation for next work week as well. And let me pull up the tropics. We are, of course, watching Nicholas in the tropics at CWG.news/tropics. So please keep that in mind. Look at that Atlantic basin, very active. Orange areas mean a moderate chance of developing, and yellow, slight chance of developing over the next 5 days. Let me catch up on comments really quick. Let's see, we've got Thomas ready for fall. Genevieve, over 80 and 60 dew point is definitely unacceptable. I agree. Rick, hello. And yes, I hope I answered that. We should hopefully get some heat out of here closer to October. And Paul wants autumn weather now. And Liz says no, I suppose, at the heat, screaming a no. And Diana, nice in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Thanks so much for tuning in. And Pat, boo on the rain. I suppose you want a little bit more rain in the coming week. I'm sorry, that looks like we have kind of a rain hole in the area for the upcoming next 7 days. This is how much rain we can expect in the region by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday sunset chats. North of the Mason-Dixon line, much better shape getting rain assuming that you want rain for your garden or your farm. But south of the Mason-Dixon line, that border of Maryland and Pennsylvania is the Mason-Dixon line. And especially look at that, south around here in DC and in Virginia, a pretty dry week ahead. So do keep that in mind, Pat, if you wanted more rain. I'm sorry I can't give that to you over the next several days. But pop-up showers and storms could happen. A downpour might happen over your house, and a half mile away it might stay dry. So keep that in mind this time of year. Lori is also saying no to the heat, and Lori is tired of living in a sauna. Mike is also wishing for the heat to be gone and fall leaves and pumpkins. We're not there yet. I wish, yes. Brad, hello. You're most welcome. And could the smoke keep temperatures down? So far, the smoke has remained just thin enough in the atmosphere to maybe keep us down a degree or two. It's mainly impacting our sunrises and sunsets and kind of taking away our blue sky. It's making it a smoky sunset, as you can see now. So I'm going to miss the blue skies as this crazy wildfire smoke just streams in from the western wildfires over us. So you'll notice kind of less definition between the sky and the cloud cover. It'll all be kind of milky and hazy and orange for much of this week. So, yep, no blue sky really, and temperature impact minimal. But yes, we could see a degree or two shaven off the high temperatures if the smoke really stays near the upper end of the scale, which is forecast currently to oscillate this week. So we'll see. Not a major forecast factor for at least the temperatures, but yes, maybe air quality could be impacted a little bit. Into the yellow, perhaps orange range if some of the smoke works more down to the surface, but overall look for hazy skies, milky sunrises, and hazy sunsets as well. Thank you again for tuning in to these weekly Sunday sunset chats, getting earlier and earlier. Now it's 7:20 p.m. and next week you'll talk to me perhaps about 10 minutes earlier. We're losing 2.5 minutes of daylight every day. Thanks for tuning in from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And Mary's hoping for no more storms. You're still doing repairs. Luckily, Mary, not too much rain to speak of this week, although yes, an isolated shower or storm is possible. Rain amounts don't add up to too much. But here's the simulated radar, generally preferring kind of maybe along the bay for bay breezes that could pick up and instigate some showers and storms, and also the Appalachian chain. So if you are along the mountains or right along the bay, you have the better chance of seeing some showers and storms middle and later part of this week. Teresa, leaf peeping season can go even downtown DC into November, so we'll talk more about foliage. Maybe my last September broadcast in early October. We'll talk about that. Hey, Barb on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you have a good week as well. Most kind. Elizabeth, hello. Appreciate clearly delivered bad news. That makes me chuckle a little bit. I am glad I can at least make it clear that we have a hot and humid week ahead. Only slightly rising rain chances into the middle and later part of this week, so I'm sorry I can't offer cooling showers and storms in a broad sense, but yes, we could see some along the Appalachians and along the Bay as we get into the later part of this week. For latest forecast, go to CWG.news/latest. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Thank you for tuning in. on these weekly Sunday sunset chats and Q&As. Let me know if you have any questions. And I think I've caught up on some of these comments and questions. Ajani, you appreciate the fall but love the heat, so you're happy. Sorry, folks. Good. Heard from a hot weather lover. Let's see. Lori, I heard the smoke is high up. It prevents rain. Is that true? I don't think it's getting to the cloud level of the atmosphere enough to prevent rain this week. And sometimes the wildfire smoke can be part of the rain nuclei that actually helps coagulate some of the water vapor in the air to turn it into heavier raindrops that could fall to the surface as rain. But so far, this is mainly a hazy event for us, taking away our blue skies and maybe subtracting a degree or two from our high temperatures. And air quality could be impacted, but that's also kind of a lower confidence on that. Most of this is staying elevated above where we're breathing, above where the clouds are. So at least while we don't have blue skies and we're seeing a lot of haze and maybe some colorful sunrises and sunsets, we aren't too worried yet about air quality or impacts to rain. Maybe a degree or two off of our high temperatures. That's about it. But yep, it is looking hot this week. Here are the anomalies, kind of the departure from normally. How unusual is this compared to average? 10 to 15 degrees above average this week. So keep that in mind. Deborah is also, I think it sounds like, sick of the heat. And the CWG fall forecast really will come out closer to I think we're going to maybe save that, Rick, toward Halloween. We'll do a winter outlook. So stay tuned for that. We kind of have been doing more of our monthly forecasts. So we'll give you, hopefully at the end of this month, the October outlook. Let's see. We've got Drew. A lot of friends with seasonal outdoor workers near Annapolis running through mid-October. Heat and humidity is not the most welcome news. So at least when we're talking about this week, I think this could be the hottest of September. That's kind of the good news. Tuesday, Wednesday, we could see mid to upper 90s for the heat index, for the apparent temperature. This is what it feels like when you combine the air temperature with the humidity. And these dew points are not going to be comfortable, maybe at or above 70 degrees. I think we'll stay out of the terrible, unbearable 75 degree and above category, but could be muggy gross this week. Not far off from that right now. I mean, it's still, our dew points are already, so you can see that. Dew points are already in the 60s, upper 60s in some parts of the region. So keep that in mind. We don't have far to go to really start. I'm starting to even feel the effects of this increased humidity as we are talking here together. So I'm on the air about 6 more minutes or so. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Antoine love that the heat can kick and you're ready for the fall weather. Yep, you're ready for it to kick out of here. And David, muggy gross, you love that terminology. Yes, muggy and gross is on tap this week. We've got maybe some rain chances later part of this week, but they're not too high. Not too high in amounts, not too high in coverage geographically for the area, and not high percentage-wise for rain chances. So we're going to be roasting. It's going to be humid. We hopefully can ebb some of the heat and humidity near the end of the week as the rain chances tick upward as well. It's kind of conversely opposite related. They play into each other. One goes up, the other goes down. For the latest forecast, go to CWG.news/latest for our PM update. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Here at the surface this week, 10 to 15 degrees above average. That is going to be notable for our bodies. We're not going to feel seasonably appropriate. I'm flagging heat and humidity combines for mid to upper 90s in the apparent temperature category when you combine air temperature with humidity this week. Tuesday is what I have here, but it could feel like this on Wednesday as well. So please keep that in mind. Take it easy. Especially Drew is talking about outdoor workers. Have some electrolyte replacements. Make sure you have some shade. Try and seek air conditioning when you can if you're really doing strenuous activity for long outside. It is going to be muggy this week. 70-75 can't be ruled out on the dew point scale. Muggy gross with the kind of almost crying emoji. It is going to be up there, and it's a little bit rare for this time of year to see dew points above 70 degrees. I think I have this in here somewhere. It should be, and this is 65 degree dew point threshold or more. It should be waning by the last half of September now. So this is a little bit unusual. The blues indicate rarer instances of 65 or higher dew points. So we're getting slowly toward a less miserable time of year, but this week is going out with a bang. And quickly, pollen haters, sufferers from allergies, let me show you that kind of across the categories, we are seeing some of those fall allergies kick back into gear. I'm feeling the weeds and grass, even right now it's in my throat. So apologies if I have a frog in my throat every now and then. And the heat counter, 46 days, just like last year. We will add to this week with 90 degrees or hotter coming for at least 2, if not 3 days this upcoming week. And let me review Tropics while we're down here in the Tropics area of my presentation for you. The next name on the list is Odette. We're on the final column of the names. And Nicholas is going to impact the Texas, maybe even Louisiana portions of the Gulf Coast. So we're watching that at CWG.news/tropics. You can check the latest on what we expect in the overall Atlantic Basin, which, as you can see here from the Hurricane Center, it is remaining active. Yellow and oranges mean that they're tracking some areas of favorable development over the next 5 days. You can see Nicholas there heading northward toward Texas and maybe southwestern Louisiana as well. So please check out the details and stay on top of the tropics. It's peak of hurricane season right now at CWG.news/tropics. And what else? We are looking ahead at hot, maybe again next work week, but luckily for context, our average is lower. 79, we're cooling our averages slowly but surely, even though the atmosphere is trying to not give up the ghost, it's fighting. It's going to be a high probability of above average, and we could still see well into the 80s next week. So keep that in mind. We might be able to call this week with our 90s imminent for this upcoming week. We could finally say this is the hottest portion of September. We are working through this work week right now. Rachel is sad to hear the news. I'm sorry. And yes, Texas and Louisiana do not need that storm. Rachel, indeed, gross weather. Elizabeth, I agree with you, too hot. Hello, Peter. Thanks for tuning in. Rachel, might be at the end of the month in October when we can expect cooler air. You are ready for autumn. And David, I love that you are enjoying the muggy, gross terminology tonight, even if you're not enjoying that feeling of the weather. Will there be rain in the DMV next weekend, Lita? There could be a front nearby. I will give you a sneak peek of what the outlook looks like in general, even if I do want to shy away from specifics when looking that far out, since it is kind of lower confidence when looking that many days into the future. Here's the temperatures for you on Saturday. Still warm. Could we see a cold front nearby? It's possible, and that could set off some showers and some storms, but this takes you through Sunday, 8 p.m. This is for all the entire week of rain accumulated by the time you talk to me next Sunday. So we're looking 7 days into the future. And the good news is, if you have plans around Virginia, look at that portions around the tri-state area where Kentucky, Tennessee come together with West Virginia, quad-state area in a way, in the panhandle of Virginia. That's also looking dry down there as well. And even the eastern shore, the Delmarva. So plans generally can go forward without much of a plan B concern if you are south of the Mason-Dixon line, where Maryland and Pennsylvania border each other right there. It's called the Mason-Dixon line. So south of town, don't worry too much about rain even into next weekend. But yes, we could see pop-up showers and storms. Here's kind of a simulated radar, should not be taken as a direct forecast, but generally speaking shows you the trend I want to show you of along the Appalachians and kind of along the bay. There's a bay breeze that might instigate some showers and storms in middle and later part of this week. It could do so this weekend if you have weekend plans, Lita. So I hope this helps you kind of think about whether or not you need a plan B. And yes, mountainous showers and storms could be favorable if you're going hiking next weekend. Make sure you're, when thunder roars, go indoors or find cover. So please note that these storms and showers shouldn't last too long. They're not going to be wide in coverage, shouldn't be too heavy, and the percentage chance of them happening is also generally low. But they are out there, and a neighbor of yours could get a downpour a half mile away from you, and you could stay totally dry this week. But luckily, the drought situation for our region is much improved, if any. A couple spots abnormally dry, but we are kicking little hints of drought out of here. And the last 7 days have been pretty wet. This is looking backward over the last 7 days. We've had a pretty good run of rain. Yes, even Charlottesville kind of managed to stay dry over the last week, but doing okay. We're doing okay in much of this part of the country. So no major water table concerns or agricultural concerns at this time. All right, before I go off in 30 seconds, here's the latest at CWG.news/latest. Your forecast for the week ahead. It is hot, it is humid, and again, it is looking like we could see mid to upper 90s for a heat index by Tuesday, if not Wednesday. It is going to be muggy with dew points around, if not above 70 degrees. So please stay cool this week. It is 10 to 15 degrees above average. It is not seasonally appropriate, and I'm ready for fall weather as well. Rachel, your garden could use the rain. I hope that you are kind of north or west of the region where rain is preferred this week, or maybe along the bay. That's also where we could see preferential treatment for some of the showers and storms erupting, geographically speaking, in our mid-Atlantic region. All right, I think I've caught up on everything. I want to wish you all a very safe and happy work week ahead. Stay cool, find some air conditioning, replenish the water and electrolytes as you do strenuous activity. Maybe do it early and late if you need to do exercise outside. Any other tips? I suppose just take maybe a small umbrella at the end of this week as rain chances ramp up slowly but surely. And we'll talk next Sunday for a weekly Sunday Sunset Chats. I'm Ken Walker for Capital Weather Gang signing off. Rachel, you're most welcome. Appreciate you and Reston as well. And take